Hi, my name is Brooke Felt, and today I'm going to be talking about time management. And the first thing I want to highlight is procrastination. Procrastination is the tendency to avoid unpleasant or stressful tasks that are often very important and replace them with less important, less stressful tasks. So you can also procrastinate and still be productive, which is called productive procrastination, which is essentially completing tasks that are less stressful and less of a priority at the given time, but things that you still need to get done. So, really, procrastination is an avoidance strategy, and it can even be seen as a coping mechanism to deal with high levels of stress. And it's important to highlight that everyone procrastinates, but not everyone is a procrastinator. And the difference between procrastinating and being a procrastinator is that being a procrastinator is more of a chronic, habitual approach, and procrastinating can occur based on certain situations and tasks. Procrastination has many different effects on mental health, such as reduced mental health, higher levels of stress, lower levels of well being, underperformance at work, feelings of anxiety, guilt, and shame, and even poor physical health. So, even though procrastinating is an avoidance strategy in order to cope with high levels of stress, it can lead to high levels of stress because you're not getting things done that you need to, which leads to underperformance at work and can cause missed deadlines and just not really being able to get things done. So, the root cause of procrastination is not necessarily how you manage time, but really how you manage emotions. So, it's a problem really rooted in emotional regulation rather than time management. And poor time management is often a symptom of the emotional problem, which is being avoided. And when you are able to find the why causing the emotional problem, you can reduce stress and learn how to better regulate your emotions. A definition by James Gross states that emotional regulation is the process by which individuals influence which emotions they have, when they have them, and how they experience and express their feelings. So, emotional regulation can be either automatic or controlled, conscious or unconscious, and it may have effects at one or more points in the emotion producing process. And the top emotional regulation skills are self awareness, mindful awareness, cognitive reappraisal, adaptability, self compassion, and emotional support. So, self awareness is the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, or desires. So, it's really having awareness of different things going on with yourself and your emotions. And then mindful awareness is practicing awareness in the present moment and really tuning in to what is occurring at the given point of time. So it's being very mindful of the present moment. And then cognitive reappraisal can be done by shifting your thought processes and really thinking about things from a different perspective. So it's almost like kind of reframing how you're thinking. Adaptability can be done by evaluating circumstances objectively, which helps really to think about how you would address the situation if it were happening to someone else. So, kind of taking a step back from the situation and looking at it from the outside looking in. And self compassion can be done just by carving out time to practice self care, mindfulness, and other activities that really extend compassion and kindness to oneself. And then, lastly, emotional support can be done either individually through practicing mindfulness and self awareness, or with others through engaging just in supportive relationships that provide positive emotional interactions with other people. And then a few evidence-based practices to try, just that help adopt these emotional regulation skills are cognitive reappraisal, self-soothing, and attention control. And reappraisal is just practicing, kind of like we talked about, shifting your focus from what's causing distress and looking for alternative ways of dealing with a stressor that is causing negative emotions. So it's taking the situation and shifting the focus, and just kind of looking at different ways that you can handle it instead of looking at it from how it's being a stressor. And self-soothing, is another one. It involves practicing self-compassion instead of self-confrontation, and really drawing in on the five senses to help regulate emotions. So using different things that appeal to touch, to taste, to smell, to sight, and sound, things like that. And then attention control is similar to reappraisal, and it aims to look at situations just from a lens of focusing on what you learned from a situation or the positive aspects of it instead of focusing on the negative side. So essentially, it's shifting your perspective on the situation or task. And overall, managing your time will be more effective when you're able to manage your stress and regulate your emotions. But some additional time management tips just include spend time planning and organizing, set goals for things that you want to get done, prioritize things that are more important and maybe things that are less important, use a to do list. It's really helpful just to be able to cross things off, and still feel productive doing that. Be flexible, consider your biological prime time. So, kind of identify if you get things done maybe really early in the morning, if you get more done kind of middle of the day, or if you get the most things done late at night. Try to set out time where you're most productive. Do the right thing right. So just practice getting things right the first time so you don't have to go back and fix them. Eliminate the urgent. So try to get rid of the most time pressing task first. Practice the art of intelligent neglect, meaning things that can be neglected or put off, kind of put those off until you need to do them. Avoid being a perfectionist. Conquer procrastination, which you can use a lot of the tips that we've talked about today just by emotional regulation, and kind of identifying the underlying problems to why you're putting things off. Learn to say no. So, really setting boundaries on things that you agree to do. And if you're really stressed out, it's okay to say no to those things. And then reward yourself. So, give yourself time to just celebrate and relax for getting some things done. And that's all I have on time management. But thank you guys for your time today.